The two of you take Scotty's dad's truck as far as you can. The roadblocks start about a mile out from the sea, and Scotty parks so close to the barrier that his number plate will probably sun-bleach into the plastic. CXB 901, trapped in a landfill and never decaying. There's nobody here to stop you. Of course there isn't. It's like Jenny says, you'd have to be shit dumb to go back in there. But you and Scotty have been shit dumb your whole lives. You climb over first and then haul Scotty after you, holding him up so he won't faceplant like he did the last time he jumped a fence. He's mostly steady when he lands, but you still wait a second before letting go. It's stupid, but you almost thought it'd all look ancient by now, that every tree would have mummified and every house would be time-lapse ruins, but you're 6 blocks from your old school, and it's just as it was. You reckon, Scotty drawls, twisting to watch a seagull settle fat in the gutter, that ghost town means a town full of ghosts, or that the buildings are ghosts? Buildings can't die, you say, cuffing his shoulder. You think, wood slats whittled and emaciated, concrete weak-kneed, the last shunted inhale of an elevator. You think, the smoothness of the countertops and walls and cupboards in your new government flat, far away in Modesto, and you wonder if you and Scotty are both wrong, but in different ways. Besides, it won't be a ghost town, it'll be a fish town. A fish town, Scotty repeats, shaking his head. Yeah, with like plankton and algae and that. Maybe a shark will start living in Dave's diner. Scotty grins wild, and you imagine it. The glass pie cases filled with water, the Coke fridge dim, a great white swimming through the kelp that spills out of the microwaves. It's something you would have maybe really believed in when you were kids, but there are no more sharks, most of the fish are gone, and you both know better now. Come on, you say. First, you go by the old park, which is just dust and a basketball hoop, but it's dust that used to coat your skinned elbows and a basketball hoop used to hang off, so you sit there until your stillness feels softer than it does strange. Then it's onto the ice cream parlor, then the library, and you kick around, knocking over shelves and clawing up carpet and trying desperately to cram yourselves back into it all. Once the light goes syrupy, running messy through the clouds, Scotty drags you right to the edge of Lacruce's. The humidity is shiny silk on your eyelashes as you sprint, you ahead, then him ahead, and you're not racing, but maybe you are. You stop on the pavement and stare out at the waves where the beach used to be. The ocean shoreline against the sidewalk, slushing gently, all gums and no teeth. You remember that picture book Dad read you when you were younger, called Goodbye Dodo. It had drawings of animals and DVDs and folded maps, and it talked about day changing to night and how it's natural and not scary for things to fade away. The second half of the book was Goodbye Stars and Goodbye Spring and so on, a mixed alphabet of what to miss. Goodbye Beaches was the last one, printed over a nice painting of the sea, a stretched, gleaming thing, sloping off to a different horizon. You and Scotty don't move for a long while. The seconds bloat into minutes, and all you can think about is how sticky you feel, like history is sweating out of you, and there's a little rotten part in deep that's 6 feet and caving, pomegranate flesh going porous in your guts. You're so fucking angry. A distant siren excises you neatly from the vastness. In your head, you Mississippi until it cuts out. This is crazy, Scotty says, against the grain of the air. And he's right. Jenny's right too. You're shit dumb for coming back. Everything tunnels out and away, and bygones sit thick on your lips. We should stay here forever, you announce. If you stepped off the edge and sunk down, eventually you'd reach the flat of sand where you built slanted castles when you were in preschool. Abruptly, it aches. There is so much in your chest that it slops over your ribs and onto your shoes. Even after everyone else has really left, Scotty asks. That's the point. The bottoms of your sneakers are wet, and you want so badly to just wait here until you're underwater too, until you're blinking salt at decaying hammerheads and petting trout skeletons. It'll only be us. Scotty turns so the sunset's behind him, Lacruce's is in front of him, and you think immediately, bizarrely, that where Scotty is standing is the exact middle of the world. It makes you laugh. It makes you laugh, and that makes Scotty laugh too, and maybe there's space and laughter that there isn't in silence to fit all these things that you're not yet grown up enough to feel. There's a languorous moment like a yawn split wide, that drowned out softness right before your ears pop. Everything, even your scrambled breath, is far away in the loose weave Hessian sky, except for Scotty. And then he says, I can't believe we're the last people to ever be from here. It doesn't echo, it just unspools across the sea. Sound travels faster over water. You think about Lacruce's as it was when you were small, and how nobody else will ever have detention cleanup duty on the boulevard, or press their faces to the storm drains to find paper ships, You think about the cruises in the pictures Dad has of him and Uncle Michael outside a shop that went bust before you were born, or the billboard they took down, or the other kids they were friends with who have already died, and maybe everybody from every town is really the last person from there, exactly as it was. You and Scotty don't hold hands anymore. You haven't since you were scrawny and 7 and still allowed to love each other carelessly with your whole bodies. In the pink yoke of the afternoon, though, with him facing one way and you facing another, you make an exception. His palm is hard calloused and his nails make lines in your skin as you both grip tight, and his fingers are your fingers. You squeeze, he squeezes, and the hive of your shared knuckles is a pounding fossil heart. One of you is going to have to break away soon. It's getting dark and someone needs to say it's nearly time to leave. You thought it would be him. Of course it would be. Scotty's always been the good one, the slightly better one, and it was your idea to come here anyway. But you're starting to wonder if it'll have to be you.